Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Hi, how are you? Sorry, I didn't mean to have a soundtrack in the background. Okay. Hey, Toya. Oh, hey, girl. I'm so glad you got that customer. Yeah, somebody, I don't know if it's the exact same person, but I'm assuming the timing it was. Someone had inboxed me. They had heard me talk about your business on this show. So I'm glad that worked out. No problem. Anytime. Anytime. So proud of you guys. Okay. Welcome, everybody. Day 10. We're here at day 10 of the 30-day Boss Up Challenge. Thanks for hanging in here. I know we've been going strong, and some of you have been here for more than 10 days because I started the Boss Up Challenge after I had gone live already about 7 times. So some of you all have been hanging in here with me. So last night, just as a recap, we went over effective communication. So for those who missed it, please tune in. I will be uploading that video to the YouTube channel this evening, and you can get caught up. I want to say welcome any new people that view this video. All of my returning people, thank you for following up. And remember to like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is Business Builder Basics, and join the group and like the business page. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That really helps me out a lot, and it helps other people too, because there are people that really have been watching these videos, and then they're contacting me separately, telling me that they're actually taking real steps to like start their businesses, and that feels great. So please do share. Hey, Lamont. Hey, I saw you did an awesome job. Awesome job. I got to get y'all over here and get my car right. But so anyway, share, please share, because there are people that really really could use this, basically. No problem. And that just reminds me, actually, this is the portion where I like to acknowledge at least one business owner that I can think of. I don't have to know them personally, but if I've heard of them, if I know of them, then I want to shout people out each and every time I do this show. And tonight I'm going to shout out the chef that I use, because I should have done this a long time ago, because he keeps my family fed well. So that is Charity Chavez. I hope that's how you say his last name. And he's with Foolish Foods Catering. Awesome. Awesome. The food is outstanding. You can find him at Foolish Foods Catering. However, the spelling is F-U-L-I-S-H, Foods with the S, Catering. So Foolish Foods Catering. Yeah, follow him. He has really, I mean, the food is very tasty, and it's not just tasty, but it's prepared well. So, you know, the meats aren't dried out or too tough. It's really good, and I find his prices to be very affordable, and so I'm very pleased, actually. So please support Charity Chavez, please. Okay, now let's do a check-in for goals. We've had a lot of goals that really should have been keeping you guys busy for the last several days. When we were doing the business plan, that was 5 parts. Each evening, you were supposed to do like a rough draft of your business plan, whatever section we covered that day, you were supposed to do. That would have been a hefty goal. If you followed it every day, you would have pretty much developed like the outline for your business plan. So then yesterday I kind of gave you an easy goal. It was easy homework. I told everybody to evaluate their communication skills, to really think about and process how they communicate, and if there is room for improvement, and what kind of feedback you've gotten in the past, and to make a conscious effort to work on those things based on the content of the video and things that we discussed. So for tonight's topic, I want to talk about how do you go about starting up a business when you get the idea, you have your business plan, and you're really ready to try to move forward because you feel pretty good about it, you feel confident. What's like the next step so that you can become official? All right, and so what I want to do, I'm going to advise you based on the state of Maryland. However, the general guidance I'm giving you is applicable basically to all states. For the most part, there will be some variation, but in general, it will help anyone, even if you don't live in Maryland. But for all of our Marylanders, I want to direct you to the website, the businessexpress.maryland.glv, and write that down because I want you to visit it later. It's going to be part of your homework. That's businessexpress.maryland.glv. Okay? And we're going to get into what are some of the formalities of starting a business and making sure your ducks are in a row. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is determine if you need to register your business in Maryland. So when we're talking about registering your business, it can mean different things depending on what industry you're in. So if you go to this website here, this is where you want to form your legal entity for your business. And that means where you make this decision about if you're going to be a sole proprietor, a LLC, a corporation, which could be a couple of different types. It could be a closed corporation, which means it just has, a few people that generally kind of know each other, just a few people that are the shareholders in the corporation. Then you have your S corporation, where you have shareholders and everyone is split up in a percentage, basically. Your closely held corporations, those are usually like if a family gets together or just a very tight-knit group of people that, you're not trading publicly on the stock exchange, basically. And so you have the different type of corporations, and you want to know what suits your business the best. And so in 2 other videos, I just touched on it briefly. How do you know which structure is best for your business? Well, the general rule of thumb that I would advise, consider if your business is high liability. Is it the type of business where there's a greater likelihood that you could be sued, where there could be some type of mishap that could have some real, legal repercussions, basically? You want to really think hard about that, because whatever you start with, once you start it, it can be really difficult to switch up. If you start out, you can do it, but it's kind of a pain. So it's best to try to foresee your end game and make sure that your structure, hey Mitch, how are you? Make sure your structure is actually you can grow into it and it'll still be good for what you're trying to do. So even if you might think in the beginning, oh, I don't need to be a corporation, I'll just do a sole proprietorship. That's fine, because going from sole proprietorship to a corporation is easier. But if you're going to, try to go from like a F corporation to a LLC, it's a lot involved with that. So know up front what the best entity is for your business. Like I said, if it's high liability, if there's a risk of someone getting hurt, or the kind of businesses that you could be sued, you want to make sure you get the highest level of protection, which would be incorporating, basically. If it's some room for liability, but it's like, you're not really overly concerned about, lawsuits and everything, you can do a limited liability company. The LLC could be appropriate. You see a lot of attorneys doing that. So you will see that. If you don't do the LLC, a sole proprietorship gives you the least amount of protection. Really, I shouldn't even say least. I mean, there's really no protection, because when you're a sole proprietor, you are your business, and there is no room for partners or anyone else. So you can't, if you wanted investors, a sole proprietorship, it's not attractive to an investor. They want to know that they can have some kind of stake in your business. So you want to think about all of that in the beginning. Once you decide, that's step one, you're going to form the legal entity, and you do that through the Maryland State Department of Assessment and Taxation, if you're in Maryland. If you're not in Maryland, do a Google search and just look up something like where do I file my articles of incorporation? How do I incorporate? Keep in mind, you can be living in Maryland, and you can even have your businesses operating in Maryland, but you don't have to incorporate in Maryland, if I'm not mistaken. So you can choose a state that has less stringent rules about what you have to do to maintain your good standing. So consider all of that. Look at your options. I know a lot of people will incorporate in, I've heard people incorporating in Vegas, I want to say, areas where they know that it's, there are less rules that govern, how you stay in business, how you keep your good standing. Maryland can be a bit tough, but I went with Maryland, so that's what I know, and that's what I'm going to advise you all on. So you do that through the Maryland State Department of Assessment and Taxation. All right, once you do that, you can pay someone to do it for you, but it's really not as challenging as some people might think. It just depends on your level of skill. If you don't have any problem with reading and comprehending things and following instructions and being able to Google any kind of words you may not know, and you feel comfortable with that, I'm pretty sure you can get through filing your own paperwork. But in any event you don't feel comfortable, you can always find the companies that will do it for you, and they do charge a pretty penny actually. So you can do that. And after you do that, the next thing, you want to obtain a federal tax ID number. That is going to be how the IRS identifies your business. It's almost like the social security number of your business, basically. And once you establish this, I'm not sure there is any changing it or anything like that. I think, I'm not sure that you can make changes. So when you go, it's very simple. You can do that online in about 5 minutes, basically, establishing your federal tax ID number. But, you have to be careful, because if you're a sole proprietor, you don't have to take any further action with the IRS. You can actually do business under your social security number. Okay, so that's definitely an option. If you're going to do a tax ID number, you go through their website, the IRS website, and then you do it through them. And you get it, I think, immediately, and you can print it out. And you're going to need that if you want to go open up a bank account or that type of thing. Now, I believe there are 2 different types of tax ID numbers. You have your Federal Employer Identification Number, your FEIN, which is also referred to as a EIN. That's when be careful, because when you apply for that, it means that you intend to have employees. You may not have them when you first start, but if you know that eventually that's something you're going to grow into, even if it's just one employee, you're going to need an employer identification number to be your tax ID number. You wouldn't just get the basic, because they have tax identification numbers that are for people that do not think they're going to have employees. And so it's very different. Be sure you don't choose the wrong one, because the one that you choose has implications for what the IRS is going to expect from you, whether it be on a quarterly basis, an annual basis. If you do the wrong thing, they're going to be expecting things from you that you won't really have to give. So be careful with that. Okay, let's see. Make sure I got all my notes here. So another reason for getting this tax ID number is you want to be able to pay your federal and state taxes, basically. So when you file your income tax return, you can do a separate income tax return. If you're a sole proprietor, then you're going to be reporting the income from your business through your 1040, your personal income tax return. It's just going to be considered a Schedule C. And that's a very simplified way of keeping things simple. So you have one tax return that you're doing, you're attaching a Schedule C to it to report your income and to write off your expenses and to depreciate assets and all of that. That can all happen through your individual tax return. But if you're thinking you're going to grow to be kind of large and you're going to have employees, you want to have that separate federal employer identification number, the FEIN, and you're going to have separate tax returns. So if you're a corporation, if you're a regular corporation, it's going to be an 1120 that you fill out or have your accountant fill out. If you're an S corporation, it'll be an 1120S. So you're going to have these different options of what you have to do, and you need to be careful because, like I said, one choice has implications for other things you need to do. And when you do those things, that'll have implications for other things. So it's very important from the beginning to make sure that you take the steps and you make the right decisions about what you're going to do from the beginning. Okay? So hold on one second.
Here's some Tybon and glue for the wheels. Okay.
All right.
Bye. Hi guys. Bye guys.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. Okay. All right. So, make the right decisions from the beginning so you don't have a mess to clean up after the fact. You will need this, like I said, to open a business bank account, to have employees. And for the state of Maryland, remember, you have your federal level. So we're talking about IRS is federal. Then you also have your state taxes and employee things you have to deal with as well. So you're going to obtain a Maryland tax ID number from the Maryland Comptroller's office, and that's going to be like a separate number. All right. So these, don't get overwhelmed. It takes you step by step on this website, and all you have to do is just follow the steps and do it like one thing at a time. All right. So let's see here. After you get your tax ID number, you want to go to the Maryland Comptroller office and you want to make sure you establish your tax accounts that are appropriate for the type of business that you're opening up. So, for instance, in the state of Maryland, you have to have an unemployment insurance account through the state of Maryland. That's for employees that you have. It's like a tax that you pay. They call it insurance, but it's like a tax that you pay based on the gross earnings of your employees, your W-2 employees. And you have to do this. If you shortcut this, if you circumvent them, if you cut them out, it will come back to bite you in the butt. Trust me. So you want to get those accounts set up. And even if you don't have employees or you don't have these things yet, you want all of the accounts in place so that even when you're doing your filings, you can still report $0 if it's, no employee wages. You can do that. So you want to establish those accounts, and you can do that by going to the Maryland Comptroller's website and seeing which applicable accounts that you're going to need. But I know for sure you're going to need that unemployment insurance account, and then you're going to need the income tax, basically This is where, like, if you have employees and you're withholding federal and state taxes from their check, they've earned that money, but you've only given them the money with their taxes deducted. You actually have that money. That money, if you work a job now and you get your check and you see what your gross earnings are and you see what your net is, the difference, your employer has it or had it at some point, and they have a responsibility to pay it to the state and the IRS. They're supposed to send it, and they send a report basically, and usually these are quarterly reports, but you file the reports quarterly, but you might have to actually send the money like bi-weekly. It depends on like how big your company is, how much your gross earnings are, your gross wages are. So all of these things, they make a big difference. So you want to make sure you have those set up correctly. You definitely are supposed to pay those taxes. So if you're withholding money from an employee's check, the state and the IRS are expecting to see that money, and you are responsible for keeping track of the accounting for this, meaning you understand the applicable percentage rates that you have to withhold from your employees. You have to calculate that. You don't have to do it in your head. You can use accounting software like QuickBooks, or there's so many things out here now. So, but you're responsible ultimately. Saying that, oh, I didn't know, I don't know how, none of that will get you off the hook if you don't do what you're supposed to do. So be sure that you do that correctly. That money must go forward to those places, and it must match up your record. So whatever you pay, and this is why it's really not good to pay people under the table and that kind of thing. It's like you really want to try to be above board when you're doing these things, because if you're not above board, you may get away with it, for a while, but it can catch up with you. So you want to pay those taxes where they're supposed to go. Have all of your established accounts and make sure you pay it. If you have employees that reside in another state, you now have to open up a tax account with that state. So for my company, for instance, it's very typical that, I have a DC account number, I have a Virginia account number, and I have a Maryland account number. I've never had anything else outside of those three. But if you have someone that lives in Virginia and they're having state income tax withheld from their paycheck, that means you as the employer, you're withholding that money, and you need to get it to where it's supposed to go based on the employee's residence. So these are things that you learn, if you went to school to get an MBA, perhaps they teach those things. I don't have an MBA. I had to learn as I go along, as I went along, and this is what I learned. Some of this I did find out the hard way, which is why I'm really emphasizing trying your best to do it the right way from when you start. Okay, so when you get the appropriate state tax account set up and the federal tax accounts, you just make sure you have the right ones. They have like a sales and use tax that may not be applicable to the type of business that you're doing, but it's your job to make sure that you're doing the right thing. The employer's withholding tax account, I told you about that. The unemployment insurance account, I told you about that. Admissions and amusement tax account, that's like if you're like, doing athletic events or you're an amusement park, that type of thing. Tire recycling fee account, transient vendor license. So for instance, if you making sales on a truck on the side of the road, technically you're supposed to have a transient vendor license. If you're like, that store for Halloween called Spirit that pops up like everywhere for like the month before Halloween, technically they would need a transient vendor license. So you need to make sure you know what you're doing so you open the right accounts. This is why getting with the consultant can really be helpful, because you may not want to do all of this research, or you may be scared that you're leaving something out. So consulting an attorney, an accountant is very good if you have the money to do so. If not, perhaps a consultant might be more affordable. And if you can't do that, The next best thing is to find someone that you know who does business and see if they will help you and tell you what they know. All right, so they have other kind of tax accounts like motor fuel tax accounts, alcohol tax license, tobacco tax license. So if you're like, like the Tinderbox in Waldorf, for instance, you own that place, then you're going to be looking at, this tobacco tax license. Okay. Let's see, what's next? Step 4, you want to obtain the proper license and permit for the type of business that you've chosen. And the best way to do this is to just Google your butt off, basically, and try to make sure you haven't missed anything. If it's possible, if you know someone or of someone that does the type of business that you do, you may want to call them up. A lot of times owners, they don't really take the time to talk to people or help people because they're busy, or maybe they just don't want to. But if you can find someone that's willing to share some insight about the industry that they're in and you're trying to get in, maybe they can help you with just, point you in the right direction, basically. You never want to go to a business owner and expect them to sit down with you for hours and hand you just hand you all the information you need. No, you need to be willing to do the work yourself, but they can at least maybe point you in the right direction, or you can come to them with the business plan and ask them if they have maybe an hour to look over your business plan and give you some feedback. Don't be surprised if they're not willing to do that. A lot of people don't have the time for it, or they expect you to pay consultant fees, which is understandable. So you want to make sure you get the right licenses or permits. It's nothing worse than getting in business and you're rocking and rolling with things and you're making the money, and then suddenly you figure out, or one of your customers has an issue and they go to complain, and whoever they go to complain to, when they come to check you out, they realize that you don't have the proper license or what you need to do what you're doing. You can get a cease and desist order, and now you may have invested money into this and everything, but if you get shut down, then that's kind of like on you, because you have to make sure you have the right things. It's definitely a risk when you operate. People do it all the time, and some people do it just to get started. I don't want to advise you all to do anything that's not legal. What I will say is just what I know of. What I know is that when you're limited with resources and you're not sure you really want to do this, but you want to test it out, you may start something up. I know of people that have started things up without all the proper things in place, just to like they're dipping their foot in the pool water to see if they really want to get in. And, for that, I certainly understand why people do that, because the licensing process for some businesses is very stringent, and it can definitely kind of put you out of business before you're even in business. So you want to, consider what it's going to take to do what you need to do, and try your best to get it if you can get it from day one. Step 5, find out what type of insurance you need, or the type of insurance that would be extremely helpful to you in your business. Let's say you have a lot of properties and you're going to do the landlord thing, and that's your business basically, is managing your properties and getting rental income. Then it would behoove you to get, liability insurance on top of not just your regular hazard insurance that is what you pay as a part of your mortgage with your real estate taxes, your hazard insurance. Not that one, because that one 9 times out of 10 will not cover you if they find out you're using the property for business. They expect you to have liability insurance and renter's insurance for whoever may be occupying the property. Or if you own the property, let's say I own a property in my personal name, I start a business, give it a business name, and establish a tax ID number. Now it's looked at as its own entity separate from me. I can draw up a lease to my business and require my business to get renter's insurance so that I'm covered as a landlord. So even though you're doing business with yourself, there are still things that you can do and should do to make sure that you're covered in a lot of areas. So finding out the type of insurance that you need. You may not be able to get it from day one. Some things, like some government contracts and different things, they require that you have certain insurance. You have to provide a certificate of coverage before they'll even award you, a grant, a contract, or anything like that. But if you're able to get started without it and you feel like, you can wing it, by all means. But if you can't afford it, try to put that first before other things that may not be as critical. And I would say now that we're at least about 30 minutes in, and I try to keep this to like 20 minutes because I don't want to overwhelm people. We're going to stop on step 5, which is the purchasing the proper insurance for your business. And we'll resume tomorrow with the other things, basically the steps to like solidifying your business. I pretty much covered everything, but I don't want to rush through. And I want to make sure that tomorrow I can devote even more time to going over more details. And maybe even I might be able to find out more information for you about a couple of other states also. Those of you all that live in the DMV, when you do business here, because Maryland, DC, and Virginia, you can like cross those 3 states within a matter of 5 minutes. A lot of times it's good to make sure you know the rules for like all 3 states, basically. So I think I'll try to get some more information and have that for you tomorrow. Now I'm going to open up for the Q&A segment of the show tonight and let you all ask your questions. I'm also going to go back and look and see all the people that have stopped by and say hello. Let's see, hold on. Let's see here. This little writing. So I saw Derek, I saw Toya, Bradley, hello, and Lamont. Okay, Maurice and William, Keish. Let's see. Team Bass, I see you come through a lot. Thanks for coming back. Rodriguez, hello. Daryl, I'm waving to everyone just as a courtesy here. Terrence, hello. Madge, I saw you in there. Oh, Jessica. Jessica was one of the people on the dance team that I used to work with, and actually I will be shouting her out. I'm going to shout her out tomorrow because I believe she owns a dance studio. I think it's, I want to say Richmond, but don't quote me. I'll get the information tomorrow, but she's awesome. She's doing really well. She's a boss mom. I know she just had a baby not too long ago. Thanks for stopping by. Let's see, Darnell. Let's see, Savoy, Jonathan, we had a lot of people stop through. Oh, Mel, hi Mel, OG Mel, that's one of my student peers in the program that I'm in. I think she might be one of my only Facebook friends from school. Thanks for stopping in. Let's see, Andre, Gregory. I see Gregory in here a lot. Thank you, sir. Michelle, one of my childhood friends. Jason, Crystal. Hey, Crystal is, I went to elementary school and college with her. I think I need to shout her out too. If I'm not mistaken, she's doing some great things. Oh yeah, Coach Jay. That's Jay who. That's my Oberlin family. And Roxy. Thanks. Hey, Roxy. Okay. So let's see. It says, I contract for state of Ohio as an independent provider. This has all been good information. Should I ever decide to do an agent, to go agency? You mean to start your own? Hey girl. Madge, are you talking about starting your own agency? Because right now, well, if you contract with them, then you kind of are, well, you can be a contractor, but not necessarily be really doing your own agency. I see what you're saying. Well, you know what I think. You know what I'm going to say. You know the answer. I always promote, well, I shouldn't say always, but when possible, if it's a good industry, always do your own, baby. Always do your own. That's what this is all about. Trying to encourage people to boss up. Because when you're working, hey, Jehu, because when you're working for other people, that's a wonderful opportunity. That's like an apprenticeship, a paid apprenticeship, basically. You kind of working and you just doing what you have to do. And you know, you're like scoping out the place. You're looking at their forms. You're looking at their protocols. You're looking around and you're like, I think I could do this. Yeah, I could do this. And you might stay there for a couple years before you get comfortable. You don't want to like steal their customers or do anything that, you know, is where you don't have integrity. I don't believe in that. But you should definitely figure out like how you're going to do your own. If it's a good industry, I don't know exactly what it is. If you want to talk more about the details, feel free. But if you have the opportunity to do your own, absolutely. How you been, Jehu? I need to shout Jehu out. I know he's a coach and I haven't talked with him in I don't know how long. I feel really, really terrible actually. But I know he does work with youth and he's family basically. But yeah, Madge, let me know more details if you want to let me know now, or, you know, I'm here. You guys know that I usually hang out for at least about an hour, hour and a half, waiting for people to ask questions and just, you know, converse. Okay, while I'm waiting to see if other people come in and ask questions, we do need to set goals. And I'm actually going to let you all set your own goal for tonight. You know everything I just told you tonight. I don't want to every night have to give you a specific goal. Remember, I'm not trying to inspire people following someone. I'm trying to inspire more independent thinking. So I want you to get to the point where I don't anticipate what you need. You're anticipating what you need and what you need to do. That means you should be learning to set your own goals. So I want you to set a goal tonight using your best judgment about what you should do with the information you've been given tonight. And then tomorrow, by tomorrow's broadcast, you should have accomplished that goal. You'll get with me privately? Sure. Yeah. Hi, John. Hi, Carlo. Welcome. Welcome. You all have questions? This is Business Builder Basics. I'm pretty much serving as a free consultant, trying to help people learn that getting into business, it can be a very good thing. There's a lot of freedom that can come with it if you do it right and you're successful with it. There's definitely freedom. No knock on anybody that is content with working a job. No knock, because everybody has a position to play and everybody needs to play their position. Everybody can't be an owner. If you had a bunch of owners and nobody willing to be employees, it wouldn't work. The system wouldn't work. So good employees are awesome people. But what I'm trying to do is encourage the people who've been thinking that they want something a little different. I'm trying to encourage those people to figure out a way to try self-employment, whether it's on a very small level, like a side hustle, all the way up to you trying to gross millions in annual revenue. You're trying to actually get to that billionaire status one day. No dream is too big. So wherever you fall on that continuum, side hustle, billionaire, if that's what you're aspiring to do, I encourage those people to come to this group. I'm definitely trying to get to the next level. Once you start thriving in business and you've seen $1 million in a year cross your hands or cross your bank account, it makes you think, well, what would it take for me to do that times 10 or times 100? So any questions, comments? I'm about to put one of my people on blast. Hey, Kristen, how are you? Oh, it's been a while, girl. Thanks for stopping through. We're just talking about business here. If you have any questions for me, let me know.
You can't go to sleep. You couldn't go to sleep. It's cold in my room.
Okay, so I'm going to put one of my people on the spot. I don't know if he's watching, and I don't know. I'm going to put another person on the spot, too. I have a couple of people who committed to the 30-day challenge, and they've been mighty quiet the past few evenings. I want to make sure that they're still in the game. They're still challenging themselves. And when I don't hear questions and comments, I'm wondering what's going on with my folks. I'm not going to name any names. Derek and Barbara. Where you guys? Where are you guys? I think I might have to come after you guys privately. If there's any newcomers, you didn't have to start on day one to join the challenge. You can come in and you can decide you want to start tomorrow, and then that'll just start the clock for your 30 days. You just need to go in and you need to follow every night. And then once we get to the end of the original 30 days, then you will just keep going and you'll go back and watch the old videos and get caught up. We're going hard for 30 days because that's what bosses do. Bosses will put in the time to do something every single day to build their business. If you can't do that, chances are you're not ready. Chances are you're not ready. If you can't do something as simple as tune in 20 minutes each evening to strategize and think about what you want to do for your business. If you're not able to do that, I'm not saying it has to be with me. I'm not saying it just because you're not doing this challenge that you're not working on something. But if you can't tolerate this challenge, if you signed up for it, if you can't tolerate it, you can't stick with it, chances are you might not be ready yet to get into business. Because once you get in, it takes a real level of focus and commitment. That stamina that we talked about. And it's not always fun. It's rarely actually is it fun. There are some people who have figured out how to get into businesses that they actually really enjoy, but it can be really difficult. Hi, Lovey. I'm getting a lot of Oberlin family love tonight. Thanks for stopping through. Let me know if you have any questions about business. I broadcast every evening at 9 o'clock for a 30-day Boss Up Challenge, encouraging people to start their own businesses. So yeah, we don't, it's not always fun, you know, we don't, it's kind of boring actually. It's kind of boring, but you know, you have to learn how to tolerate the things that you don't really want to do for long periods of time. I mean, you do get breaks. You can take breaks. You can do self-care occasionally in business, but you definitely want to be able to have that stamina, that ability to focus, like most people are able to do when they binge watch Netflix. That's the kind of focus you have to have when you're trying to start a business. You have to be like that focused, put in that much time. Hey, Takea. I need to shout out Takea because I believe she does personal training. Not exactly sure, but when I see people's stuff on their timeline, I just kind of like make assumptions as I read things. So yes, I'm encouraging people to boss up and to tolerate this boss up challenge, even though it's boring, even though you all may not want to see my face or hear my voice every night. So I'll just wait. I'll wait a little while, see if there are any questions, and then if there isn't, we'll go ahead and, you know, conclude the evening. All right, I think that might be it. I know I have some people that are actually, they're committed to the challenge, but they're not always able to tune in while I'm live streaming. So they'll go back and they'll watch the videos, because you can always catch the video by looking on my timeline, because I make them public. I post them in the group that I created, which is the Business Builder Basics, and I upload every video almost every single evening after I go live. I'll upload it to YouTube so that you can go to the YouTube channel and you can catch any of them. So you can definitely do it at your leisure. If you don't like the idea of the 30-day consecutive challenge, you can always, you know, space it out and try to pace yourself. But the one thing I said before about that is, you know, once you start a business, sometimes you're not able to control the momentum, and you may not be able to slow down or do it at a comfortable pace. So that's why the 30-day challenge is like really to help get you in the habit of understanding how you have to continue the momentum of something, and you can't always just do it at your leisure or when it's comfortable or when you feel like it. You have to condition yourself to do things when you don't feel like it. And that is not easy. It's not easy. I mean, I've been self-employed for, you know, about 13 years or so, and it's not always easy even now. I'll be honest. I mean, me doing the 30-day boss up challenge was a commitment to myself to try something new. And there are times, although I enjoy this, tuning in every night at 9 o'clock, I mean, it kind of, you know, it's kind of intruding on my home life with my kids, or if I want to go out and catch a movie or do something during the week, I can't really do it until after I'm done live streaming, because I've made a commitment and I'm going to keep that commitment. I'm going to be accountable, you know. So it's, you know, it's not always easy following through, but when you make commitments, you try to stick with it. And if I can't be here with you guys, if I can't post these videos every single day like I said I would, then I feel like that would ruin my credibility, And it would be a poor example. I would be setting a poor example. If I expect you to tune in, I have to be available also. So what I'm trying to do is like really model the kind of behavior that you need to learn if you don't already know it. You know, I'm modeling the behavior of a boss, of somebody who is very committed to business and works very hard to try to put my best foot forward when I say I'm going to do something. Hi, Manly. Welcome. Thanks for stopping through. So yeah, the Boss Up Challenge is getting a little difficult for me even, and I love this stuff. I mean, I love business. I really do. I love doing business. It can be really challenging at times, but I just think that I was one of those people that I was made for it. Basically, I was born for it. I was selling blow pops in middle school. You know, I just always had a desire to figure out how to make money. Even when even in high school when I got a job, I didn't get a job because I had to. I was like, I like money. I like making money. I like the feeling of, being productive and producing something. And so I definitely think some people are like born that way, or they're raised that way from childhood. And then I think later on, I do believe that people can be groomed for it if they have the right set of circumstances and the right mindset. I do think that people can be groomed for it, even if they were not like born or made for that, like the boss baby concept. If I didn't believe people couldn't be groomed, I wouldn't really be doing this this 30-day boss up challenge. I wouldn't really be doing this channel at all, actually, or doing any of these broadcasts. I definitely have to believe that people can learn some of these things. And I feel like, especially for the people who know me personally or who like went to school with me. I mean, I have people on my page who I may have gone to elementary school with, middle school, high school, college, right on up to the program I'm in now at the doctoral level. So anybody who may be seeing this, if you know me, if you know me, then you know how I am, and you know that, like I'm just like a lot of the other people. Like I walk the same halls with you. We've had conversations. Maybe you will realize, she's not really that different from me. So, maybe I can do some of those things. A lot of times people think that being in business for yourself is, maybe they don't know anybody that's doing it, and it feels like such a far-reaching goal, or it seems like it's like unattainable. So when you have people that that you can reach out to and talk to, or you can hear them talk or share their story, especially if they're willing to tell you things about their life, like I've been able to figure out how to make it through business with depression, with strained marriages, with a bunch of children. I mean, I'm an African American female, so I'm a double minority. I was young when I started. I had a baby young, so maybe if you hear from somebody like myself who comes from, maybe the similar community that you come from, or have similar circumstances, then maybe you might realize, okay, yeah, then I could give it a shot. I could do that. That's why I think it's important that I do this. Because there are some people out there that may not have realized that they were capable of doing this because they never had anybody tell them. Hi, Hope. How are you? Thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions, let me know. We're just talking about business and bossing up, trying to encourage people to get into business for themselves or to get a side hustle of some type. So yeah, I just want people to know that I'm not going to say everybody can do it, but it's like you may be capable of doing it You may not have realized it. Some people know they can do it. You know, some people, they're like, oh, I know I can do that. I'm not ready to do it, but I know I can. Then there are some people that just never even thought, like they never thought they could do that. Hey Charity, how are you? How's it going? I hope your family is well. So yeah, come on guys, let's it's scary and everything, but let's stop making excuses and let's try to figure out how to squeeze in a little bit of side hustling of some type. You don't have to, you don't have to go big with it. You don't have to have any employees. Let's try to figure out something you can do while you keep your full-time job. Let's just start there. And for those of you all that have your government jobs, and people used to talk about their good government jobs, after that furlough that just happened, and the way that they're doing people these days, like a lot of the people approaching retirement, they get the okie doke. Things are happening that make people realize their jobs are not, even though they may have good paying jobs and they may be satisfied in general with their job, I think people are realizing that job security thing doesn't really exist. Anytime you work for someone else, you're not really calling the shots. If I'm wrong, correct me. If there is someone out there who has a job and you can't be replaced, you can't be fired, you call the shots. Let me know, because I don't claim to know everyone, but I don't know anybody that can say that who works for someone else. No matter how glorious the job might be, no matter how happy you might be with the job, no matter how great you feel like the employers are, the owners, or whatever, just know that there's a chance there that like you may not always be in a position to call the shots or to have control over how you're earning your money or what you have to do to earn that money. Somebody else usually they're calling the shots for you. You may be a high level and you may actually govern other people under you, but if you don't own it, there's someone above you that does. Then if it's the government, of course, you know how that is. I just think that don't have all your eggs in one basket. So I'm not trying to convince people to quit their jobs, but I am trying to convince people, let's figure out some other things we can do. Can we invest in some stocks outside of your 401k? I don't want to hear about your 401k, okay? I don't want to hear about your 401k. Your 401k, yes, is a form. It's a stock portfolio, yes. But when I hear people talking about these 401ks, I'm just like, good for you, but there are some additional things that you could be doing that's not through your employer. Yeah, I know they match and all this other stuff up to a certain cap. That's great. Do that too. And get some other stuff going. Get some other accounts outside of that going. Try to learn how to day trade if you can. If you have extra time on your hands and you have a mind that's analytical, you think you're smart enough for it, read some books, watch some YouTube videos, get some additional skills. Don't have all your eggs in one basket. And even if you do self-employment, don't have all your eggs in one basket. Try to make sure you diversify. Make sure that, you have your hand in a couple of pots. Collaborate with other people so that you can do more and have quite a few things going. Because when you get into business, chances are you may fail sometimes with some of your ideas. A lot of people fail. Quite a few times before they actually get to the good part. So yeah, I'm not trying to knock anybody that has a job. All I'm saying is, if you can muster up the energy and find just a little bit of time and squeeze a little bit of money out of your budget to be able to do something else, I think try. And then if you're like, no, I just can't, I just won't, I can't, I've worked all my life, I'm tired, I'm tired of the rat race, my time is almost up, I'm ready to retire. Or you're just like, no, I have too much going on, my health is not good, my relationship is out of order, my mind isn't right. Okay, but I'll tell you what you can do at the very least. Have your children tune in. Have your children come and tune in and listen to me and talk with me. And let's talk about how to get a lemonade stand going. Let's talk about how to make slime and sell it to your friends. Let's talk about selling blow pops at school. Let's talk about saving your money when you do chores if you get an allowance. Let's at least put the babies in a position to grow up, and it'll be second nature to them to be bosses, and to have financial freedom and to be financially literate. At the very least, let your children tune in. If not me, then someone else. You have a lot of people doing good things like Dr. Boyce Watkins, the Black Business School. He has a lot of different programs for the youth. I think it's like Black Billionaires of the Future or something. Sorry for getting the name wrong. I know I'm off, but it's something like to that effect. And they start young. And so for those of you that were here and you saw the video, the first video where my daughter opened up the show and she talked about wanting to do a lemonade stand. And then she talked about her planning stage, getting her supplies together and how to beat her competition. And, it was really good. She just turned 7. She just turned 7 years old. And so think about, if she's able to think about those things at that age, she doesn't even know how to spell yet. She's still struggling with that and having her B's and D's backwards. But yet she's thinking about business. Because guess what? ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, they're important, but at the same time they're developing those skill sets, they can be developing a business mind and a mind for financial literacy. That can happen at the same time. But I don't know if there are a lot of programs promoting that. The other thing is, let's make sure as parents we're not being selfish or letting our egos get in the way. Because let's say, if I'm a mother and I know that I'm an employee, I work a job, and I'm really not business savvy, I really haven't shown a lot of desire or ambition to do business. Now I have a daughter. I want her to look up to me. I want her to respect me and feel good about what I do. I don't want her to tune in to see some other woman who's a self-made millionaire telling her how she shouldn't work for anybody else. What is that going to make my daughter think about me? You have people that think like that. You have people that think that way, and they would actually shield their child from good information and from a good experience because of their own ego. Because they don't want their child to be raised to start questioning them. Well, mommy, have you ever thought about doing something? Because children are smart and they're inquisitive, and they'll start asking those kind of questions. And I think some parents, they don't know what their answer would be. They don't want their children asking those kind of questions. None of us like our children questioning us. Let's face it, we don't like it. But sometimes they have the most pure and authentic responses to things and observations. We best to start listening to the children sometimes, because sometimes they have more sense than us. So I encourage you, hey Tanya, I encourage you, please, if you know someone, I'm thinking about after this 30-day boss up challenge, maybe I can get together like just a little something that's geared towards the children. Anywhere from ages like, 6 up through teenagers, basically. Maybe I can group it together, make one that's like really geared towards the very young ones, and then get one that's geared for the teenagers. I want to get my hand on those teenagers for real before they start getting those student loans to go to college and get a degree that's worthless. I want to catch them before they're in debt, and out here unable to pay their student loans because they realize the degree they have is not helping them to be any more marketable. It's time that we shift the paradigm about this college thing. It can be a good thing, but it is not necessarily we should just be grooming our children to think they have to go to college after high school. No, you do not have to go to college to be successful. In fact, you might actually set yourself up for failure if you go to college just because you think that's what you're supposed to do and you have no idea what you really want to do, but you're just going through the motions. And if you don't have a scholarship, you're just racking up a bunch of debt. Let me catch them babies. Let me catch them early. Let me catch them early. Send them to me. I won't corrupt them, I promise. Just send them to me. I'm telling you. And you won't regret it, I'm telling you. Because think about when you get older and you retire from your job, and now your babies are grown and they running businesses and they own properties. You think you're gonna be in a nursing home? Or are you gonna have private nurses tending to you in your home, and your children coming to see you all the time because they don't have a 9-to-5, and because you raised them properly and you gave them opportunities and you got over yourself, they love you and they're going to take care of you. You know, send the babies to me. Have them tune in. You said you took your daughter. Hi, Hannah. You took your daughter to the Children's Entrepreneurship Expo at the Convention Center. Cool. Let's see. It's annual and amazing. I need to research it and see what else they have for the children like that, because it's not like it's anything that seems like it's being broadcasted all the time, and it's not in the school system. It's not in the school system, and it's not even in college. I'm in a doctoral level program, and they don't have not one course in a 5-year program that really teaches people about setting up for private practice. Everybody that I go to school with, you know, for the most part, they're gearing up to get a job, which is fine. I'm just saying, I know there have to be some people in there that are interested in private practice and that would like to know, what would I have to do to be successful? They're giving us all these technical skills in like this focused area, but nothing about entrepreneurship. It's not in the schools. It's not in the homes. So where they're going to get it from? Cardi B, she's talking about, you know, I have a love-hate relationship with Cardi B. But on one hand, she's talking about, you know, I don't need the D, I need the money. Okay, yes, I can get with that. I like what you're talking about. And you're saying, I don't dance no more. I make money moves, but you're too ambiguous, actually. How are you making money? How are you making money? How are you getting to the bag? You know, you got Drake. We have a song where they're talking about what's your net worth. And children are singing this. They don't even know what net worth is. I think children by age 10, you should know what net worth is. They're training everybody to be worker bees. Yep, it's the new chattel slavery. It's the new slavery. You know, we go around, we talk about Black Lives Matter. We are upset about oppression and everything, and those things are real. No doubt, those things are real. But we are our worst enemies. We get in our own way. You know, we're like a slave to our own mindset. And even the people you're surrounded with, your friends, your family, sometimes your friends and your family, they can be the worst ones to keep you in the chains of bondage. Because if you get around people, test it out. Just test it out. Get around people at the next family event and tell them you're thinking about quitting your job and going into business for yourself. See what kind of reception you get. Hey, Rob. See what kind of reception you get. See how many people say things like, what, girl? You got a good job. What you talking about? You gonna quit your job? How you gonna feed your kids? What you gonna do? Oh, everybody doing that. Why you gonna do that? I mean, just wait and see the kind of responses that you get. thank goodness, I would say most of my family is very supportive, you know, but when you're thinking like a boss, when you're bossing up, because that's a mindset that's unique and rare, you're going to feel like an alien amongst your friends, family, and community. You're going to feel very isolated and alone. And that's why we need to create communities like this, even if it's as simple as tuning in with me and having these kind of conversations, so I can tell you, you might feel strange, but it's the good kind of strange. You know, you might feel like you're crazy, but it's the good crazy. You know, you're not alone. You're not alone. If you have big dreams and you have a lot of ideas and you're constantly bouncing things off of people and they're tired of hearing you talk, don't stop. Don't stop. Try to get around the right people who want to hear those things, who want to hear what you have to say, who want to support you, who want to say, oh yeah, I was thinking about that too. Maybe let's get together and talk about that, because I was trying to do this, but I had this barrier, and so I just kind of moved away from it. But the way you're talking, I feel like maybe we could get together, and boom, y'all millionaires 5 years later. That's who you need to be around. That's why we need groups like this. That's why you need to join. That's why you need to subscribe to the channel. It's free for you. It's free for you to just touch a button and say subscribe. And instead of watching Love and Hip Hop or the Soul Train series, figuring out how somebody else got rich, take some time and get around the people who can help you get to your goals. And don't be concerned about what they look like or who they are, or that you went to school with them, or that you know them, and that you know they're imperfect and you don't want to listen to them, or why would I listen to her? Because you should listen. If you want something different and you haven't been able to figure it out, and I've been able to figure something out, listen, because it might just work for you. It might change your life. Open your mind up. Most of the people who the biggest video that I had was the video where I prepped everybody hours before I broadcasted, letting them know. I showed them the kind of money that I made the first 8 days in March. I showed people that was the most popular thing. People tuned in. People were commenting, yeah, I'll be there tonight. I'm trying to hear what you're talking about. You think I see half of those people as subscribers on my channel or doing the Boss Up Challenge? No. And why? Hey now, yes. Ain't lying. Where are they? Where is everyone? For those, several people watching right now. You're watching right now. Why are you watching? What's your purpose? You want to learn something? You bored tonight? You know, you serious about trying to figure out what you can do to change your life? You want to find out if I'm the real deal? You know, you want to find out, you know, if you should be listening. Anything that I tell you during my broadcast, because I don't claim to know everything, fact check, and understand that what works for me may not work for you, but there may be somebody that it works for. And I'm not charging $1 for it. I'm not charging a dime, but I am asking for your support by showing up. Show up. Where is everybody? Where is everybody? Because I know I have 5,000 friends on Facebook. I know that before I started this challenge and doing these shows, I would see quite a few people having public posts about they don't have a job, they lost their job, or they've been unemployed for this amount of time, or they're getting evicted, or they can't pay their bills. I mean, they're getting, you know, they got the GoFundMes. I see all this. And I'm sympathetic. I'm like, man, you know. So when I get on here and I spend my time trying to teach people how to get this money and they not tuned in, I'm going to delete you the next time I see one of those posts. Because you're not here. You're not showing up, which lets me know that you may not be trying. You may just be talking and complaining and not really trying to change your situation. However, you can talk about all the latest shows. Your timeline shows you've been traveling, you've been having fun, you've been living it up, you've been chasing a man, you've been chasing women, you've been at the bar, you've been watching sports, you've been fill in the blank. You recently started your own business and you have a lot to learn. I'm a perpetual student. Hope, I'm a perpetual student. I'll never stop learning. We always have more to learn. You're going to make mistakes and you can learn from them. Rob, you trying to learn something? Come on back. Come on back every night. Let's talk. Let's make connections. Let's find out who's who in this group. Let's start DMing. Let's not DM about, let's go on a date. Or I'm trying to get in those draws. Not that kind of DM. Let's get in each other's DMs about how to get this money, about how to get out of this mental slavery, about how to make our communities, you know, worthy of living in instead of trying to run from. You're late, Rob, no problem. You know, this can be your day 1 of 30. All you have to do is just keep coming back. Keep coming back. I'll be here every night. Mostly every night. I'm doing it at 9:00 p.m. The first 20 minutes is what you mostly need, which is the information, the education part I'll give you. And then after 20 minutes, I open up for Q&A, and I'm at your disposal. I'm here for as long as you need me. I guarantee you I can outlast everybody tonight because I'm a night person. I will stay up. If you have questions, if I have the answers, we can talk about it right here. Free consultation. Come on back. And then go back. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Business Builder Basics. And then catch up on the videos. You just look at one each day, and each one has a goal for each day. You work towards your goals. And I made 10 commitments. I made 10 commitments about what people would get out of this. Let me, since I got some people watching, let me tell you what I said you will get out of this if you do this challenge. It's 10 things. Hold on one second. See if I have these 10 things, because I usually keep my notes. Let's see. I try to keep notes on every talk that I do. Ten things I want you all to know, that if you tune in with me each evening, you should be able to get 10 things. I'm going to find it because I want to tell you guys, since I have an audience right now. I didn't start fussing. Now people looking. That's what I got to do. I got to fuss at y'all. I got to get a little dramatic. That's okay. I'm good for it. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Anybody that knows me knows I can turn up. I can definitely turn up. I'm telling y'all, y'all need to tune in. We having good conversations. I said in several different videos, I'm looking for partners. I'm still building businesses. I'm self-made millionaire, but I'm trying to be billionaire. I'm trying to get to the next level, so I'm learning and continuing to grow right along with the audience, basically. We can do this together. Y'all got ideas? There are certain businesses I have running right now that I might close down because I'm going to the next level. And I don't want to be held up with those things. But instead of closing it down, how about I meet one of you guys that's interested in it, and maybe I give it to you. I say, hey, you take over this business. Let me get 15%, and you can just take it as it is. Everything in place. Customers there. Everything's in place. You just have to get in there and do the work and make it work. I've done it before. I did it with my child care center. I'm for real. I can't find people to give a business to. It's crazy. I've never seen anything like it. You can't give away a business. Let me go find this. 10 things I would like for you all to get out of this. If you give me your time. I did the numbers. I said 20 minutes for 30 days. That's 600 hours. That's the equivalent of, 600 minutes, which is 10 hours. And if you can't give me 10 hours in 30 days, but you can give Netflix 10 hours in one day, binge watching a season of a series, I'm going to delete you if I see you complaining about your financial situation. I'm telling you. I'm going to delete your butt. Because I know people had a time. They just think it's boring and they don't want to listen. Let's see, where is it? What other questions I have coming up here while I try to find this thing? Okay, you say, my husband and I are entrepreneurs who are constantly expanding and trying to create generational wealth. Thank you. Hannah, thank you. Generational wealth. We're parents. A lot of us are parents. We love our babies, right? We love them. Why do we leave them nothing when we die? Why do they even have to do GoFundMes for our funerals? Why are we leaving them no properties that are paid off and they can just have them to either live in, do business out of? Why? Why don't we pass down art, heirlooms, jewelry, you know? Why don't we do these things? Why don't we create generational wealth for our children and our children's children? I've been thinking about that since before Jay-Z had his album. I'm glad he came out with the album because maybe more people listen to him, you know, but I've been talking that for a while now, you know. Progeny, that's the name of my corporation, Progeny Enterprises. Progeny means offspring. It's like, it's for the babies. It's for the fruit. I work this hard, you know. I might not see the benefit in my own lifetime, but if I work hard enough, then I know if I do it right, my children should have it easier. They should have an easier time in this world because of what I'm willing to do right now. Me and my daughter want to open a recovery house, a place where women come after cosmetic surgery. It's a good idea because if they did cosmetic surgery, chances are not only are they going to need help with the, you know, the physical help, because, you know, you might, getting around physically is more difficult after you have that surgery, but you also need the mental support because chances are you got that surgery maybe because of an insecurity about something or because of a dissatisfaction in certain areas, and you need that support. You need the support. That's a very good idea, Tanya. Very good idea. Hey, Ernestine. Hey, Grace. You own a recovery service for cosmetic surgery. Good. Good. See, Tanya is replying to Hope. We got to talk. That's what this group is for. Networking. Thank you. I'm happy. I'm getting happy tonight. This was what I wanted for this group. Is this kind of stuff going on right here? How do you subscribe? You go to YouTube and you search Business Builder Basics, and it should pop up. I think I have my picture there as well as a bunch of $100 bills spread all over the place. And you just hit the subscribe button. You subscribe, and you can, if you don't want to be bothered with the notifications, you don't have to do that. But if you want to be notified every time I do a new video, you can hit the bell too. But hit the subscribe, hit the thumbs up. Once you watch the video, if you like what I'm talking about, you can thumbs down it too if you're not feeling it. You know, I'm not going to tell you how to think, but subscribe and get that information. Yes, you two talk. You two hook up. what's the YouTube page again? Business Builder Basics. And I can't accept any more friends on Facebook because I'm at 5,000, but you can follow me and I make the post about the business stuff public. So you can still look me up and you can join the Business Builder Basics group on Facebook. The benefit of joining, hey sis, that's my sister. The benefits of joining the group is that at some point, like right now it's at like 154 members. It's built up over the course of like 2 weeks to 154 members. My goal is to eventually have exclusive content for the members, to start posting things like templates or documents, things that can help people, and then also to even maybe do events or to have Zoom sessions or just, you know, things that'll be for members only. And at some point, my goal, because I'll be honest with you, I'm a businesswoman, and most of the things that I do they're going to benefit, they can benefit others. I like to also benefit. I like to create win-wins. So once that group gets big and people are really interested, now if I charge like $1.99 to enter into the group, it's just $1.99 for a person. Now you get all these consultation services, and I get $1.99 for each member. Maybe it's like a monthly membership, just $1.99. And I don't have to hit people's head. I don't have to get rich. Even as far as monetizing, I don't have to charge people anything. Really, if I have enough followers and I have ads on my page, I can get paid from Facebook and YouTube. They got it to give. If we do it that way, I don't have to charge anybody anything, really. I'm determined, just bear with me. Just let me focus on this real quick to find where I put those notes about the 10 things you will get out of the Boss Up Challenge. And for those of you that are that are you viewing, make comments. Don't just watch. Make comments. You know, put things in the comments like what you guys were just doing. I have this. I do this. I want to do this. Then other people will see your comments, and then they will correspond with you if they see that you're doing something they may be interested in. So closed mouths don't get fed. Be sure to comment, because you may find yourself an investor or potential partner I cannot find this document. I cannot find it. If you look at the videos, it's on day 1 of the 30-day Boss Up Challenge. And somewhere in there, like towards the middle or something, I tell people the 10 things they'll get out of it. A couple of things that I remember off the top of my head is, 1, you will own at least 1 share of stock in a publicly traded company. If you're with me for 30 days, you'll do that. You will have a closer idea to what kind of business you want to do. You will have higher self-esteem, and your self-efficacy will increase because you will be setting goals every day and achieving some of those goals. And each time you achieve a goal, it boosts your self-esteem, and it increases your ability, your belief in yourself to be able to get things done. Self-efficacy. Another thing was going to be, you will meet at least 1 person who you can network with. Not necessarily partner or get money from, but you will meet at least 1 person. If you do the 30-day challenge and you're communicating in the group, you'll meet at least 1 person that you can network with. Let's see, off the top of my head, what were the other? It was 10 things. You will have a better household budget. You will have a better household budget because I will be teaching people how to eliminate waste. and how to stop spending all of your money and actually save your money and to invest your money and to, you know, have a cushion so that if you get furloughed or if something happens, you're not really tripping because you are responsible and you've planned your life as if things happen sometimes. So better household budget. 10 things. Go back and watch day one. Day one of the Boss Up Challenge. It talks all about, you know, what we're doing. But even before the Boss Up Challenge, I had 7 videos I had done prior to that. And some of those, they're not on the YouTube channel yet, but they are public on my Facebook page. One that people should watch is called Get Your Mind Right First, Then Get to the Money. So that was an important one. I did one on how to minimize taxable income, how to start a low-key hospitality business. We did synergy. Synergy is about the ability to work collaboratively with other people so that the outcome that you all get together is greater than the outcome you would have gotten apart or individually. Synergy, I thought that was a good video. Stamina was another video. Do you have the stamina to do business? Mental and physical. Do you have the mental and physical stamina to do business? So these are the kind of, if you go and you look at the subject, you will see what that video is about. And like I said, I'll give about 20 minutes of like a lecture style where I'm just giving information. And then after 20 minutes, I open up for Q&A and do like what we're doing right now. Except people might have more specific questions and not like about their business, and I'll actually answer their specific questions. You know, I will answer specific questions, especially like if it's about the industries that I know like the back of my hand. You know, I am telling people how to get into the businesses that I'm in. I don't care about creating competition. It's not about that. It's about if I teach people how to build businesses, even if they're on my same block, if that's my community, if my community is thriving and businesses are popping up everywhere, then the people in that community are going to be living better and doing better, and it's going to be a more positive, happy community. So competitors, I don't care about that because I feel like I have my hands in enough pots and I'm resourceful enough to, you know, survive, even if I help create my own competition. Because at this point, we need to be encouraging each other to get in business. Hey, Stephanie. Yeah, it's on YouTube, Madge. Yep, it's Business Builder Basics. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you for everybody that went and subscribed. Thank you so much. Hey, Tori. I miss Tori. She came in. Yeah. So listen, I don't want to hear any more of that complaining. You can complain, but only if you're doing things also to try to change your situation. I complain. I'm very vocal about discomfort and things I don't like. But I'm also the kind of person where I'm always working on something, though. I'm always trying to do something different or evolve in some way or grow. So I'm not loaning people money. There are a lot of people that knew they could depend on me for that. I won't be doing that because I'm trying to tell people the things they can be doing to get their needs met. And I'm letting people know it's not going to be easy. I'm also letting people know that I'm not one of the people that feel like the MLMs, the multi-level marketing. I don't support those. And if you're doing that and you feel like you're self-employed, I feel like you should think twice about that, and you should consider, because I should do a whole video on the MLM situation. Basically, the MLM is a way to convince people that they're self-employed and they're really getting other people rich at the top. To me, that sounds like a job. That sounds like an employee to me. And so I have, you know, these are the kind of things I want to talk about and then discuss it in these groups here and get and figure out what we should be doing and what we shouldn't be doing. Now, everything isn't for everybody. And like I said, you can be, I'd be happy to see you just to do a side hustle, you know, just a side hustle while you keep your full-time job. And then I love to see the people that actually, they want to try to be the next Oprah Winfrey. Like, anywhere in between is great. But do something, though. Like, do something. And for the people that weren't in here earlier when I talked about, if you really feel like you don't have it in you to do it, okay. I mean, it get like that sometimes. It can be very difficult. Have your babies tune in. Get your children to my channel and make sure they're looking out for the notifications for videos I'll do that'll be geared towards teaching children how to develop a business mind and how to be financially responsible and how to get certain skills that they're not going to get in the public school system, in the private school system, in undergrad, in graduate programs. I've seen it all. I have seen some of the worst public schools that don't address anything about self-employment. And I've had my son, one of my children, at one of the best private schools in the country, not addressing self-employment. Although most of the families that attended that school were wealthy. But yet, my son left there not having one class or not even one talk or discussion that I was aware of about self-employment. So if you are not ready, if you're too tired, if you don't believe in it, if it's not your mindset, that is fine. But at least let your children have an opportunity from the youngest age possible. Like I said, my daughter can't even spell yet. She's working on it, but she spells things wrong. But she will make a list of what she needs to do a lemonade stand. She'll have lemon spelt wrong. She'll have sugar spelt wrong. But the fact that she knows she needs lemon and sugar and ice and water and a table to put it on and cups, the fact that she knows that she can make a list even though she can't spell the stuff, that's what I'm talking about. And the children are capable of thinking like that. If you work with them from a young age, they're capable. My sister knows what I'm talking about. She knows. She knows what I'm talking about. My sister's self-employed. Yep. She got the degrees. She did the job thing. And she was like, hell no. There has got to be a better way. We've collaborated on things. She brought an opportunity to our company. And it resulted in getting nearly $250,000 in grant money to provide tutoring services to children in Title I schools. Money is out there. There's abundance out here. So stop sitting around thinking that there's nothing out here. There's no way for you to change your situation. There's no way for you to make extra money. We're in a recession, or, you know, whatever you're telling yourself, throw it out. Get that out your mind and understand there's abundance out here. And the main thing getting in the way is you. Who's laughing? Who's that laughing? I see the laughy faces there. Welcome, David. You subscribed a while back. Thanks, Grace. Thank you so much. Because I'm telling you, I can see I'm going to have to get feisty. I got feisty, and if I look at my, you know, you can look at your analytics for your videos, and it shows you like what your peak times were. And I'm telling you, the moment I start, I was down to one viewer. I was about to end the evening. And I started fussing. Ended up with like 11 people watching. So we shouldn't have to do that. But if that's what it needs to be, you know, I'll do it. But I'll bring it back down and get to the message, which is what we're here to do. let's figure out how to make this money, because there's money to be made. And I have a lot of ideas. Me and my family, we have more ideas than what we can act out. Doesn't matter if we have money and the ideas, if we don't have the time to do all of the ideas that we have, they're just ideas. But if we meet people that's trying to do something, imagine what we could do. And I'm not talking about people working for me. I'm talking about we can collaborate. Or I might just give you the idea and have nothing to do with it. I might just let you know, hey, I thought about this a while ago and I think this might be a good thing to do. And you just go off and you figure it out. You go do it. We have so many ideas. My family, we're not perfect, but I'm going to let you know we are a family of people that are self-employed. We are making it happen out here. And you need to surround yourself with people. Doesn't have to be my family or me, but at least surround yourself with people that are like-minded or similar-minded, and people that will support you and your mission and your effort to be self-employed. Because if you're not surrounded by those people, you won't be able to muster up the courage and sustain it long enough to take the leap. So keep hanging out. Hang out with me. Hang out with me, man. I'm telling you, because I get on people's nerves. They know what they're going to get when they're with me. I mean, I know how to have fun and everything, but people know my conversations are usually about how to get this money. You know, it's like how to get this money, man. And I'm fairly comfortable. So when I see people that are really uncomfortable, bills not paid, facing eviction, evicted, have children with needs going unmet, when I see that, I'm just like, what's going on? How can I help? How can I be of assistance? Except for giving you money. Except that. Because I'm not loaning anybody any money. I might invest if your idea looks like it's developed enough. If you did a business plan that I just taught you how to do over the last 5 days. I took 5 days to break apart how to do a business plan. Give me a business plan. Send me a business plan. If you feel like you have a good idea, but you don't have the financial backing, or you just need a little encouragement or a little assistance, email me a business plan to this address: barrett.progeny@gmail.com. Hold on. Let me make this easy. Let me make this, because I talked about effective communication last night. So I'm going to be precise. There it is. barrett.progeny@gmail.com. When you're ready, do not send me an underdeveloped idea. Don't send me something with a bunch of narrative in the body of the email. Send me a business plan. If you don't know how to do a business plan, watch the last 5 videos that I did before last night. There were 5 videos. Send a business plan to my email. Put in a subject line, business plan for your consideration. And let's see how many I get, because I will open them up and I will read them. And if I see something that looks like it stands half a chance, you're going to hear from me. Remember, the parts of the business plan, when you put in there how much money you're looking for, or what you need, make sure the business plan, I should not have to contact you to ask you any questions to have a full understanding of what you're proposing or what you want to do. Send a business plan. I'm looking for people to invest in. I'm looking for people to collaborate with. I made a joke, a consistent joke I have, about doing a Shark Tank for the hood. You know, like a Shark Tank where I'm not on the level of the sharks in Shark Tank, but for my community, I'm at a level where I can do something similar at a lower level for people that are like grassroots, really just trying to get a start. I may be able to be of assistance, but I want a business plan. Don't text me, don't call me, don't say you want to meet and have coffee. Send me a business plan. If you put in the time to do a business plan, then I feel like you could be serious. Okay, you subscribed. Thank you, Hannah. You said get my glasses. Hi, Taylor. Hi, Lewis. Welcome. Welcome. I'm here telling people about themselves. Sorry. Y'all ready for some? Hey, Essence. Oh, I'm going off in here tonight. I'm on day 10 of the 30-day Boss Up Challenge, and I could barely get 4 people to commit to the Boss Up Challenge. But yet, I know so many people that are struggling and miserable with their jobs or broke or, but I don't really know what people are doing. I don't know what people are doing. I'm here. I'm trying to give $1 million worth of game for free. And people don't want to come get it. I'm trying to figure out why. How you been, girl? Thanks for stopping through. Yes, girl. Essence, I'm telling you, I don't know what's going on with the folks, but people seem to be content with being broke, busted, and disgusted. I mean, I'm not here to judge. I'm just here to say, let's be solution oriented. If you haven't had a job or your job reduced you to 1 day a week and you got like 3, 4, 5 kids, a whole husband, I can't stand when people do that. When they say a whole whatever. It's so trendy now, and I just did it. I'm mad at myself. I just did that. But you got a whole husband, as if you could have half a husband or a fraction of a husband. But you got a whole husband, and you, where you at? Where my power couples at? Where my power couples at? Come on in here. Because I'll let you both know how you can try to work together to get some money. Even if you don't like each other. Even if y'all just together for the kids. Come to me and I will tell y'all how to work together to get this money. Come on now. It can be done. Nobody needs to be hungry out here. Stop laughing. You know what I'm talking about. And you know why I'm qualified to speak on the matter too. Yeah. You got yourself a roommate that you legally married to. No problem. I mean, that just sounds like more manpower to me. You don't have to get on Facebook. What you do is you pull up YouTube and you tell them y'all about to watch something. Maybe he's thinking it's Netflix, or y'all about to, get some popcorn. Maybe put on some tights and like something a little eye-catching, and say, hey, let's sit down and watch something tonight. Let me get you some popcorn. What, you want some cookies? You want some ice cream, baby? Let's go ahead and sit down. I'm going to get you some stuff. I'm going to get you a beer. And then you put me on. you turn them YouTube videos on. Yeah. You don't have to get on Facebook. A lot of people don't like social media. That's no problem. That's why There's a lot of different ways you can get this information. I can get YouTube. Now most of the televisions that people buy are smart TVs, and so you can get YouTube right up on your television, and you put in there business builder basics. Yep. And if he sits there and he's like, oh, I don't want to watch this. What is this? And you just say, let's just, just 20 minutes. Let's watch one of these every day for 20 minutes or every other day for 20 minutes. And let's see what we can do. And if that person is not on board, I know what I don't give advice about what people should do with their spouses or significant others. But if you have hey, babe. Oh, Kara. Hey, girl. I'm proud of you. Let me tell you, I shouted you out the other day. Very proud of you. Thank you for tuning in. I'm getting on people right now because I'm about tired of folks complaining about not having any money, and it's abundance out here. It's abundance out here. So if your mate is not on board, but you got bills, you got eviction notices, you got cutoff notices, your kids are going without things they need, you can't afford to put them in extracurricular activities, but this person talking about they don't want to watch my videos to help them figure out how to get some money, then you should really consider how to proceed in that situation. Because if you got two grown folks up in the house that are able-bodied, even if both people are not masterminds, you only need one brain. The other person can be the brawn. They just need to be willing to do what you ask them to do. And they need to get over their ego or whatever. If it happens to be the woman that's stronger with like the setting goals and things, let her play that role. If it's the man, let him play that role. But be a power couple. Like I said, even if you don't like each other, even if you're threatening to get a divorce every other month, it's no point in not eating well. You better learn how to get along to get to the bag. Just try to have a basic level of respect. You ain't got to like the person. Most people don't like their employees anyway. And most people don't like their employers. So work together. Work together, man. It's hard to find people that are willing to do something these days. Maybe it's always been like this, and I'm just getting older, and I'm just seeing that people are out here not being grown-ups. They're not being grown-ups. They're like looking for a handout, entitled, not solution-oriented, dramatic, toxic, destructive, saboteurs. I see a lot of that, and I'm just like, I've been those things at periods of my life. I've been those things. So what do you do to shift out of that? What do you do? Well, we all get off track sometimes, but how do you get back on track? You can't afford to be off track when you don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. You can't afford to be off track. Can you? I'm really not trying to judge. I'm just trying to say, if you're on my timeline or you on your timeline and I happen to see it, and you are constantly complaining about your current situation financially, but I see you doing things that are not conducive to obtaining financial freedom, or I see you just engaging in behaviors that are not going to get you to the goal, I'm going to delete you. I'm going to delete you. Because I don't want to hear it anymore. Because I'm here trying to help people figure it out. I'm not saying I have the answers, but we should be able to have a discussion. I should be able to give you all information. You all should be able to look into it. And you should start becoming independent thinkers if you're not already. And figuring out how to improve your position. And my fallback plan, and I keep saying this, I've said it like 4 times throughout this video. If you feel like you don't have what it takes, or you don't want to even figure it out, let those babies have a chance. Send them to the channel. Let them watch the videos. Put some books in their hands and let them get their minds groomed to become bosses. At least let the babies have a chance. That's the least we can do. I understand. Once you're grown, you stuck in your ways. You got your excuses. You know, my childhood was terrible. You know, I was abused. I was, you know, we all have a story. So let's try to get to the babies, because that's where we can have the most impact. That's what I'm studying for my dissertation. I'm studying, you know, how things that happen in a child's life early literally shapes their brain. And that has implications for how they're going to behave and how they're going to do later in life. Later in life, you can still do things that will shape your brain. They discovered that the brain can be reshaped. It's neuroplasticity, but it's not as plastic when you're older. That's why older people have a hard time learning new things or getting out of habits. But when they're young, they're pliable, they're moldable. The brain is very plastic. And if you put things before them, oftentimes they will surprise you with the kind of things that they can accomplish and do, the kind of things they can understand. Give the babies a chance. Let them listen to talks about being bosses. And don't let your ego get in the way. If you're not a boss and your child is learning how to be a boss from somebody that is a boss, you better get over yourself. You know, you better get over yourself. If you didn't figure it out or you didn't want to, that's fine. But let them have the tools so they can make a choice. You may have felt like you didn't have a choice, and you're doing the best you can with what you have. But at least let the children get the tools so they can get to a point where they decide, do I want to go work for someone or do I want to start my own business? They should be able to have that choice. And we must start young. Now, how y'all feeling about that? Yeah. This is what I really believe. It's what I really believe. This is what we need to do. And I can't wait 3 more years before my research is published. Besides, the dissertation is something that most of my peers and the people in my community will never read. They'll never see it. And if they read it, they'll be like, what is this? So I'm really trying to do something immediate, something that's today, now. How can I help people today, right now, in common language, in my bedroom, just talking to people, letting them know what I know. That's what I'm offering. And I want to see more people coming back to talk. Because we're not going to always be talking like this. I just happen to have gone off tonight because I'm tired of the low participation, when I know this is good stuff. But if you decide to do the Boss Up Challenge, you decide to tune in, the first 20 minutes is really all you need. Don't worry. Some of the videos you're going to notice are like 90 minutes or almost 2 hours. That's because of the Q&A part. But the content part, where I'm like actually teaching about a topic, I limit it to 20 minutes. All I want is 20 minutes of your time for 30 days for free. Just to give you information about how to start a business from the ground up. Whether it's a side hustle or you're trying to set up the future for $1 million or multi-million-dollar corporation. Please join me in this endeavor. No, it's not going to be fun. It's going to be boring. I'm not going to be throwing drinks on anybody or trying to fight anyone. Or I'm not, you know, I'm not going to be teaching women how to gold dig. I'm not going to be bashing men. That's not what it's going to be. So some people may have no interest in it, but I'm telling you, it's what we need to be talking about. Because a lot of this other foolishness that people are watching, filth, foolishness, distractions. Some of the brokest people I know in the worst situations I've ever seen in my life can tell you the quality of every Netflix series that's out right now. Oh yeah, oh, you should watch this, that's good. You should look at this, that's good. And I'm thinking, like, when did you have time to watch all these series and you don't have a job, you're evicted, when do you have time, when do you have a desire to sit and watch 20 series on Netflix? And if you happen to have the desire and you did that, you actually telling somebody that? You don't even know better than not to even be like, shh. Like, if you jobless, you homeless, can't take care of your kids, don't tell nobody about the best stuff out on Netflix right now. Don't do that. Don't do that, please. Don't do that with me. Cause you're gonna get upset with how I'm gonna respond. Cause I'm that person. We talked about communication last night, and I told y'all I'm working on it. I'm trying to do better. But I'm definitely the person where if you tell me something like that, I might have like a smart aleck response. Like, why do you know about how good that series is? It just came out last week and you've already watched the whole season. How many job applications did you put in, or how much research did you do on how to start a business? Crickets. You know, you got people hanging out at these bars and these little spots a few times a week, hours on hours, paying for overpriced drinks, smoking weed all day, every day. I'm not judging, I'm just saying. Distractions. Those are rewards. Those are rewards that you do those kind of things. If you're going to do those things, you do those things after you have secured the bag. Only after you've secured a sufficient bag. Not just that you got you paycheck to paycheck, payday came, you paid the bills. Now with the little bit of money you have left over, you're going to go enjoy, you know, a cigar, some drinks, and a bag, allowed. No, if that's how you're living, you're not ready for the reward yet. Because what happens when you get furloughed? What happens when you get laid off? What happens when you get fired? You paycheck to paycheck, and all the extra money that you had, because you just thought you were entitled to money to continue to come, so you just spend everything you had. Now something like that happens, and you got excuses why you can't feed your family. And the world is supposed to feel bad for you. Even though you were live on Facebook and posting pictures of your vacation that you took, and, you know, people got to really pay attention, man. You got to pay attention to what you're doing out here. I feel like I'm preaching. Hey, Joshua. How are you? It's been a while. Don't mind me. I'm just on here. Hey, Allison. Don't mind me. I'm just on here, you know, trying to figure out if I can get people on board, man. Sleep deprived. You get some rest, Hannah. You get some rest. You've been here for a while tonight, and you already got good things going on. People can, you know, exit as you need to. Hey, Trinita. People can exit as you need to. I'm here. I'm hanging out. You know, I'm here for the questions. If you have them, you have questions. I'm happy to answer them if I have the answers. I will definitely admit when I don't know something or something is not my lane. Yeah, so some of the things that we're going to cover in the coming weeks, we're going to talk about, you know, how to complete the paperwork for doing your own articles of incorporation or your different things like that. We're going to talk about creative financing. Creative financing is going to be me telling you how to rob Peter to pay Paul in the name of business. I'm going to tell you about things that I've done and things that I know that people have done to be able to generate some money to either start a business or expand your business. Ways that are maybe unorthodox, ways that, you know, that I really don't like to have to promote. But I know that if people are not thinking this way, they may have never even thought about the idea to do it that way. There's risk associated with it, but I'm here, you know, to tell people about ways that you can pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. You know, your credit may have to take a hit. You may have to owe some people, you know, but there are some things that you can do to get the money that you need, you know, to be able to start a business. I'm going to go over that. I have not done how to start an assisted living home yet. I did do how to start a daycare. I did do how to start a B&B. I showed people the receipts of me making, like, off of the B&Bs alone, $8,000 in the first 8 days of March without me lifting a finger. And that's like I look at the B&Bs like a side hustle now. They're not even the main businesses that the family operates. They was all over it when I showed them that. I actually showed them, you know, what would be considered personal information. I even had somebody, I think what she was probably trying to do was see how it works or see like what kind of money actually would be made. But I had somebody that I knew, she booked some rooms at the B&B, and then she canceled it maybe within a few hours. She canceled it. But it's almost like she was fact checking to see like how much money is she really getting when people book these rooms. Or I can't really say what her goal was. I can only speculate. I think she was trying to fact check to see like what the money really is. Somebody I went to high school with actually booked the place after I did that video. And it's like, yeah. So you see, yeah, you booked 2 rooms for 3 nights, and you saw that I was about to get $1,000 if you had followed through. I was gonna get close to $1,000 for that booking. It's real. So I went over that. The style of the videos will be like information. I won't be really getting into like soapbox topics. I won't do a lot of talking like how I talked tonight. It's really going to be more so about actual steps to take to start businesses, basically. Giving ideas about businesses to start. Giving people feedback if they do ask me questions in the Q&A. I give feedback if they ask a question Well, do you think this is a good idea? I just give my best opinion and, let people go from there. So normally, it's not the kind of thing where I'm roasting everybody or just being judgmental or preaching. That's not the typical format. You will see that if you go back and look at the videos. Hi, Andre. Let's see, what time is it? Oh, it's 11:15. I've been on here for a minute. Things started popping right when I was about to close out the session. Yeah, for everybody watching, share the video. Share the video, and when you share it, make a comment like, I don't know, if you can't do what she's talking about, you're not ready. You're not ready to get this money. If you can't make time to get this information, then you may not really be ready to change your circumstance. Do that. Share it. Share the video and encourage people, challenge people by making statements like that so they'll see what you're talking about. Just let people know that maybe you're not ready. Maybe you don't really want this. And let the men know, yeah, she's a woman. She's a black woman. But you can learn from a woman. There's no shame. We already talked about that in a couple of the other videos, how I don't have a lot of men that tune in. And one of the guys said it's probably because men want to feel like they figured it out on their own. And I was like, that's probably true. But that's stupid. That's stupid. Like, what does that even mean? Like, why do you have to feel like you figured it out on your own? People need each other. People learn from each other. People have mentors. So if you're a man, you mean to tell me you can't listen to a woman that might know her stuff or can tell you something to help you get to the next level? Encourage the men. Because I don't care about people talking about men wearing dresses and people focus on people's sexuality. And I'm like, masculinity can look, there are other things people should be focused on more than that, in my opinion. Because I take a man, if a man walk into my office and interview and he got a dress on, but if he's talking about what he's supposed to talk about, he has the job over the man with the suit and pants on, whose chest is puffed out because they think that's what constitutes being a man. Please, give me the man in the dress if he's going to get the job done. So I just think people focus on the wrong things. Tell the men to come through. I don't male bash. And I do think that men deserve help. We're starting to get to a point where a lot of women are getting frustrated with men, and they feel like, well, if I got to do this on my own, I'm not dealing with a man that needs any help. It's getting to a point where a lot of women are not even entertaining the idea of a man that can't provide for them or take care of them. I'm here to say that people can join together and join forces and really become a power couple. You don't have to have a man make more money than you, or if there's a man that doesn't have a job, but you're the type of woman that knows how to create jobs and you need employees, that might be a good fit for you. If the man is willing, if he's willing to work, he's just having difficulty finding a job, or, I think our men, black men I'm talking about, because I know it's not just black people that watch this channel, but I think that black men they still need some support and encouragement from Black women. I know we get frustrated, but I don't think that we should turn our backs right now. I think that if we have certain abilities, we should figure out how to work together and uplift our men. You know. So, are there any questions? I don't see any new people coming in. It's slowing down now. I'm gonna let you good people get some rest tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like the video, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel, Business Builder Basics, so we can have some good conversations and network. Join the Facebook group, Business Builder Basics. If you join that group, get in now. I don't think I'm not going to, the dynamics of the group won't change, I don't think, anytime soon. I'm at 154 members right now. At some point, I will be charging a token fee for membership into the group. But that's after the group gets established and people start having some success with being in the group. Before I even start charging, I want to try this approach, get a following, work with some people, see if it works, and then when we grow from there, after people have networked and collaborated and gotten what they feel they need from the group, they can be a testimony to others that it can work. And at that point, getting into the group will cost something. It will be minimal, but it will cost. So join the group now is what I'm trying to say. Long story short, join the group now while it's new, while it's free, while it's still grassroots, because I intend to go places with this. I really do. I intend to go places with this. And I would love for people to be there along with me, helping me along the way, and me helping them. Okay. So now I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to listen. I'm going to see if there are any questions. If I don't see any questions or comments, I'm going to shut my mouth, say goodnight, and get out of here. Any questions that you have. It doesn't have to be about the topic tonight. The topic tonight was about the steps to take to formally establish your business. It can be about anything, as long as it's business related. Okay. I see the numbers slowly going down. Hi, Chantel. Welcome. Let me know if you have any questions regarding business, or if you're in need of consultation regarding starting up your own business. We're closing up now. The numbers are starting to go down. I think people are ready for bed. But if you have any questions, I'll hang out for a while before I sign off. Okay, we're dwindling down. Thank you so much, guys. I enjoyed myself tonight, and I hope to see many of you back tomorrow. and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. We're going to do this 30-day boss up challenge. We're going to do it. We're going to get through it. It's not too late to start. We're on day 10. If you start tomorrow, everybody else's day 11 will be your day 1. And you can go back and watch the videos to get caught up. So it will be a full 30 set of videos that you can watch. And by the time you watch those videos, you should have achieved 10 objectives. And those objectives were discussed in the video from day 1. 10 things. Okay. Well, I always end off by saying, boss up. Boss up, people. You can do it. Boss up. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Brainwash yourself. Say that to yourself. You can do it. You can do it. You must do it. How about that? You must do it. You must do it. You have to figure out something more to get to the freedom. Hello, Tamia. Come on, guys. We can do it. We can do this. We can build our communities up. We can keep our dollars in our community. We can be professional. We can run good businesses. We can be successful and stay in our community. We can be successful and live in our community. We don't have to become successful and go to somebody else's community to be comfortable. We can be comfortable in our community, but we have to do the work. We have to do the work. And that means bringing enterprise to our community. Our enterprises. We need enterprises in our community. Not the conglomerates that are huge and already billionaire people. They're just fine. They're going to be fine for the rest of their lives. We need enterprise in our community. Okay, so everybody boss up. Thank you for tuning in. I don't see any more questions. I don't see any more people coming in. I know it's a few people watching, but I'm going to go ahead and sign off now. All right.